Hello world, Dano here, stacking paper as always, and today we're reviewing Life, the Universe, and Everything, the third book in a trilogy of 5 of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If anyone who doesn't get that joke, it's just a running gag with Hitchhiker's Guide that it's a trilogy of 5 books, because I guess I forget like why exactly that is, but pretty sure he just always told them it was going to be a trilogy, and then he just wrote 2 more books. So they just kept it going. Anyways, though, this book just rocks. Let's be real, there really isn't much of a plot, even though like there kind of is, but it really is just a series of vignettes. But these vignettes are so fucking funny that it doesn't matter. So we got Arthur Dent, who's like stranded on prehistoric Earth. Because that's where the second book ends, and he's about to go insane before he finds Ford, and they hop into a space-time eddy, which then transfers them to Earth at Lord's Cricket Field. I guess that's a famous cricket stadium in England. 2 days before the Earth's destruction by the Vogons. And essentially the whole plot of this book is there are these little robots that are going around killing people and taking certain artifacts. One of these artifacts is ashes that are at Lord's Cricket Ground. Another one is the space-time, the improbability drive from the Heart of Gold. Marvin's leg, So these robots are going around and they're trying to assemble something called a wicket gate to free the people of Cricket. So Cricket is this planet that this is such a funny concept. Their entire planet is surrounded by a dust cloud. So for most of their existence, they had no idea that a universe even existed. And then one day a ship crash lands on their planet. They reverse engineer it to make their own ship. And they finally like penetrate the dust cloud that's around their planet. And they see the rest of the universe. And they decide, yeah, this has got to go. They liked being isolationists. They liked being isolated. And the thought of a universe with other people in it just irked them. And they just waged a war across the entire galaxy. To the point where they had to get together, and to stop them, they had to put them in this thing called a slow time envelope, which just locks the planet of Cricket into like this extremely... like this stasis field where time just moves infinitesimally slow, with the idea being that after the eventual destruction of the universe, then it'll be released from the envelope and they'll now just be the only ones left, so they can just live happily in a lack of universe. But given there's the context, and so they get transported to Lord's Cricket Ground. They see these robots, and then Slartibart Fast comes out of nowhere. He's been chasing these robots around the galaxy, and he's trying to essentially save the galaxy. And he recruits Ford and Arthur to come with him. And that's pretty much it. They just kind of go around from place to place trying to stop it, until the way that they ultimately stop them is Marvin hooks himself up to the big computer that's controlling all the robots, and they just kind of get depressed. And they also find out that the dust cloud that's around Cricket is actually this super old AI, and it's the reason it's kind of been manipulating the people of Cricket to wage these wars when they don't really want to in the first place. A lot of this book, it's like a big lore for the world. And the whole idea behind Cricket and the AI, and even like the little concepts like bistro math. I think bistro math might be one of the most brilliant things that has been introduced in the series. So when they get on Slartibart Fast's ship, it can travel infinitely far, just like the Heart of Gold can, but it doesn't use an infinite improbability drive. Instead, it uses something called a bistro. I forget what it's called. Is it a bistro drive? But it's powered by bistro math, the bistro engine or something. And what bistro math is it's a bunch of robots reenacting a restaurant, an Italian bistro to be specific. And the idea is that whenever you go to restaurants, the food that you're paying for and the bill never line up. And the idea being like, oh, well, people want to split bills, but then there's also like, appetizers and sometimes I forget all the little intricacies of it, but essentially it's just this really complicated ballet of waiters and customers constantly adding and subtracting new things to the point where numbers become unreal. You get like unreal numbers, and those unreal numbers allow you to travel in like absurd ways, right? So it kind of recreates the same thing as the improbability drive without the downside of you not knowing what you're going to end up as at the other end, right? Like it is with the improbability drive. So yeah, the concept of bistro math like just absolutely floored me. Also the dinner party that never ends. That was another really funny thing. Essentially, Ford and Arthur run into this dinner party that has another piece of this gate. By the way, this is a terrible this is gonna be a terrible video, but honestly I don't care. I'm so tired. I just want to get this one over with. And it's whatever. It's Hitchhiker's Guide. It's not supposed to be super serious anyway. So the whole point of these robots assembling this wicket gate is to release Cricket from the slow time envelope so that they can start destroying the universe again. And again, this was the AI Hacktar that's been doing this. But yeah, the dinner party. So the dinner party has another one of these pieces for the gate. And it's a dinner party that has never ended. So it's been going on so long to the point where the people who are in the dinner party now are like generations down of people who never left the dinner party. So all these people, it's just like this incestuous dinner party. And that at one point they learned how to fly, or they got engineers to make the party room fly. And whenever they start running out of food, they literally just raid farmers and like other people on the planet. So this planet that they've been orbiting around is like completely destroyed from all these raids for like cheese and alcohol. And it's just, oh God, it's so funny. And then the one part that I was so not ready for, but just crushed me, is Agrajag. So at one point, Arthur kind of gets teleported to this shrine that this creature named Agrajag has created. And this guy is someone who's constantly been reincarnated and just coincidentally been killed by Arthur over and over and over and over again. And so he built this shrine to all of the deaths by Arthur's hand. And there's this massive statue of Arthur with like 100 hands, each one of the hands killing another one of his reincarnated beings in a new way. And Arthur's just like, what the fuck is going on, man? This book is so ridiculous, but I loved every second of it. It's just fun, man. These books are just fun. If I have a gripe, it's that a lot of the other characters don't do too much. Like Zaphod and even Marvin and Ford, they just seem to have a lot less agency in this book. It's really Arthur focused. Trillian also does kind of save the day, which is kind of cool. She has a big moment. But other than that, like that's my one gripe. But like, you know what? It's so hard to heavily criticize Hitchhiker's Guide because it's just so, there's just so much levity. Like it just feels like you're just reading, you know, like some guy completely taking the piss, but somehow it's super philosophical and like heartwarming at the same time. It's just, this is the perfect kind of book to stave off existential dread. Oh, and lastly, one of the funniest thing. Man, I'm a mess. Early on in the book, when Arthur's stranded on prehistoric Earth, a spaceship comes down and approaches him, and he thinks he's being saved. This alien comes out, calls him an asshole, and then flies away. Turns out this alien's just an immortal, and he's gotten so bored that he's decided that he's going to insult every single person in the galaxy personally in alphabetical order. Where Douglas Adams comes up with this shit, who knows? All I know is it's legendary, and They're quick reads, and they're so fucking funny. And this book's just worth it. Up next is Dying Inside by Robert Silverberg. I'm actually almost done it. I was super late to this Hitchhiker's review, but that book is a doozy, and it's going to deserve a much more in-depth video than this one. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Until then, peace out.